Hello, this is your instructor again for HO 152, Human Body Systems 2, Alice Shapiro here. Welcome to a discussion of nutrition, a very favorite topic of mine since I have worked as a dietitian in both clinical and non-clinical and public health settings. This first slide talks about the food guide pyramid, which actually has been replaced by the My Plate. In your textbook that we are now using, the newest edition of the textbook on page 475 is the new website. It's called myplate.gov. So go there, and it is in your textbook. I think you could still get to it with the food guide pyramid, but people are so used to looking at the food guide pyramid. But rather than showing a pyramid in the myplate.gov, they are using an actual plate divided into sections. Part of your homework is to take a look at that website and analyze your own diet, take a look at your own diet, because I think that's the really important take-home message for this chapter, is to really take a look at what you are doing, because only by concentrating on what you are doing and being able to analyze and figure out how healthful your own diet is, will you be able to help family, patients, and so forth. But the My Plate includes grains, vegetables, fruits, fats, oils, dairy, meat, and beans. And you'll see in this new My Plate, the dairy, rather than being on the plate itself, is listed off to the side. Here is the choosemyplate.gov for you. So this is replacing, as I said, the food pyramid. How do we measure what we take in? A calorie is the amount of energy required to raise the temperature of 1 gram of water by 1 degree centigrade. What we actually consume are kilocalories. So if you consume 1,000 calories, you're actually consuming 1,000 kilocalories. We kind of use those terms interchangeably, but they are different. Types of nutrients include carbohydrates, proteins, and lipids. They are all organic compounds. Don't be confused by organic foods, which are raised and grown without pesticides, fertilizers, and harmful chemicals, and those are an important part of protecting our health and the health of our environment. But any compound that is produced by living tissue and contains carbon is classified as an organic compound. All right, I hope you understand the distinction between that. Here are some of the characteristics of carbohydrates. What they are what we call starches. They contain carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen, and they are broken down into simple sugars in our digestive tract before they can be absorbed into our bloodstream. They are composed of monosaccharides, which are the simple sugars. Examples are glucose and fructose, or disaccharides, which are comprised of two, we could say, simple sugars, such as glucose and fructose make sucrose, which is common table sugar, and glucose and galactose make lactose, which is milk sugar. Poly means many. They're comprised of many units of monosaccharides. We refer to them as starches. They are found in grains, vegetables, and glycogen, which is actually stored somewhat in our muscle tissue and in our liver. Types of carbohydrates include simple carbohydrates, which have no nutritional value. They have calories without any healthful nutritional value. They do cause weight gain. Examples are candy and soft drinks. Soft drinks, which are not sugar-free, and sugar-free are not recommended either for other reasons because of their artificial sweeteners, which are harmful. and the carbonation, the phosphorus, impedes actually the absorption of calcium in both diet and sugar drinks. But sugary drinks contain 9 teaspoons of sugar, and that's not even in a supersized. That's in a what used to be a normal serving of about 8 ounces. So use them sparingly, if at all. Complex carbohydrates contain fiber, which help to decrease the risks of colon cancers, heart disease, and other conditions. Whole grains, whole pastas, whole grain breads, rice, particularly brown rice, and they're recommended to eat at every meal. A serving is considered to be, for example, 1 slice of bread or 1/2 cup of uncooked pasta. Obviously, you would cook it before you ate it, but just to give you an idea of serving size. Functions of carbohydrates are for production of energy. They are converted quickly to glucose and can be used rapidly for energy. Our brain cells require glucose exclusively. Our brain cells cannot utilize fats as a source of energy, so we must have a supply of carbohydrates for our brain. Another type of nutrient, of macronutrients, are proteins. They are broken down into amino acids, and you can see what the recommended amounts are and where they are contained. I'm not going to take the time to read all of these to you because you are perfectly capable, I know, of reading these, but here are some recommendations. These will all be on the myplate.gov website and available for you to kind of play around with and assess what you are doing in your own diet. There are essential amino acids, which means we cannot make these amino acids. We must get them from our diets. That is what essential means. We cannot manufacture these. Food sources are high protein sources. You can get them, and they are not incomplete. I disagree with some of the information in your book, which says incomplete food sources. This is not the case. Beans, seeds, nuts, grains, leafy green vegetables are high quality proteins. You just need to consume a variety. Soy products are complete proteins. The functions of proteins are listed here. They're involved in the structure of our bodies, skin, hair, nails, muscles, involved in hemoglobin, which is the protein in our red blood cells. Some proteins are enzymes. Many have immune system functions. They are forming our muscle fibers, and they form part of the cell membrane. So protein, whether it's of animal source or vegetable source, is important and necessary. Lipids, which are cholesterols and fatty acids, are broken down into glycerol and fatty acids and are also essential for functions in our body. First, we'll look at the types. Unsaturated fatty acids are liquid at room temperature, and they are generally considered more healthful, although we should limit our intake of fats overall to about less than 30%, not more than 30%, and really as little as 10% of our caloric intake. So if you take in 1,800 calories, if you're getting 180 calories from some type of healthful fat, that's adequate. Trans fatty acids are processed. They are not healthful. Do not ingest them. Read labels. This is very, very important. Cholesterol is a steroid. It is found in the brain, in our livers, and other animals' livers, and egg yolks, and so forth. We do need some cholesterol, but our bodies manufacture cholesterol, so you do not need to consume cholesterol. If you are a vegetarian or vegan and you do not consume cholesterol, but your diet is healthful and well balanced, that is fine. You can maintain your health. Cholesterol is divided into low density, which is the cholesterol that tends to clog our arteries, and high density, which tends to remove cholesterol from the lining of our arteries and is considered to be more healthful, although we need to keep our total amount of cholesterol that we take in low or none at all, because as I said, our body will manufacture it. Again, use them sparingly. I hate to call any food bad, but why they are less healthful, they can cause weight gain and heart disease, and they can cause increased risk for colon, pancreatic, and other types of cancers, including breast cancer. How do you limit the amount? Again, play around with the website and figure out some healthful ways to modify your diet if necessary. But here are some ideas. You can go over this later. Lipids do have functions in our body. They are long-term energy storage. They insulate us. They provide protection to the organs, and it is part of our cell membrane. Again, our body will manufacture cholesterol. Here are food compositions of some common foods. Take a look at this and give yourself an idea of what is contained in terms of fat, protein, carbohydrates, and so forth in various foods and grains, dairy products. I am not going to ask you to memorize this, but it is important to take a look and get an idea of what you consider to be a healthful diet for yourself. I recommend diets that are high in fruits, fresh fruits and vegetables, and a good lean protein source, whole grains, beans, tofu. Those are wonderful sources of protein if you choose not to consume animal products. Vitamins are organic molecules. That means molecules that contain carbon and produced by living tissue primarily. And the absence of vitamins can result in deficiency diseases. Again, I wish we had time to talk about all of the differences between the different vitamins and all of their functions, but in this class we have time just for a general overview. Here are some of the vitamins and their functions. Give yourself an idea of some of the basic functions of some of the vitamins. Read labels. Daily values are recommended intakes for people based on a 2,000 calorie diet. Look at the label, look at the nutrition facts. This will tell you, labels will tell you total calories per serving. Pay attention to serving sizes. Sometimes serving sizes are lower than you expect. Like this might be on a bag of chips. 1 ounce is 32 chips. This bag contains 2.5 servings. People tend to eat the whole bag, and when really there may be more than 1 serving. So this applies to 1 serving. Be careful. Serving sizes are not standardized between one brand and another or one product and another. What you might be interested in is the total amount of fat or the calories from fat. Notice this particular item has more than half fat. Not something recommended to eat in very large quantities at all. Become wise consumers. Pay some attention to this chapter and some good basic nutrition information. Go to the website and have a good time playing around with this. Send me any questions via Moodle messaging. And again, you might want to take a nutrition class. We have wonderful nutrition classes available to you, and I teach some of the nutrition classes from time to time as well. I'm going to end this for now. We're almost to the end of our 15-minute time for this overview, and I hope this has helped you. You need to help yourself. Go to the website, have fun, and I will be in touch with you very soon again.